The concern about flooding is rising. KBOI2's Brian Morin asked local officials if they're ready. He's live in Boise with their answer.
Yeah, Brent, as you drive around the Treasure Valley, certainly you find snow-lined streets. In particular, in a lot of cases, there's lines of snowbanks, and it's not even snow anymore. It is ice. I am told by ACHD officials in Ada County that they are keeping a close eye on this situation as warmer temperatures start to push in. Roland's going to talk more about that in a little bit. But you're probably wondering why I'm standing by the Boise River talking about streets. Well, emergency management officials in Ada County are keeping a close eye on river levels. Snow and ice everywhere you look. But what will happen when it starts to melt with it piled up along the side of the roads and covering storm drains?
Well, we'll have our fleet ready to go and our crews. The same people who've been working the snow call will then move largely over to flood maintenance.
When it does start to melt, these will be deployed, sweeper and vacuum trucks that can suck up water like a carpet cleaner.
If there are some ponds and intersections or at the side of the street, that's going to be something we'll eventually try and get to. But first, we're going to be protecting safety and property.
Doug Hardman runs the Ada County Emergency Operations Center. It's at partial activation right now. He's watching 911 calls, potential emergencies across the state, street-level activity with ACHD cameras and more. But all the snow this year in the mountains has the Boise River Basin on the board.
We want to assure everyone that we're not concerned at all about major tributaries or rivers. The Boise River or tributaries coming out of the foothills, those should all be just fine.
Believe it or not, Hardman says the likelihood of river flooding appears to be low at this point.
You can see it's a easy to see visual based on a cup of how much water is in each one of the reservoirs. Lucky Peak is at 20%, Arrowrock 78%, and Anderson Ranch is 53%.
Back at ACHD, folks here are optimistic as well.
I think we're all looking forward to the melt. Again, it's just careful what you ask for. You know, we want to melt, but it needs to be a Goldilocks melt, just right.
And Hardman says all the really deep snowpack is above the reservoirs he was just talking about. Those reservoirs are currently only at 51% capacity collectively, so that is good news as all that snow does start to melt. Now, ACHD wants to point out that over the past few days since the snow has let up here in the Treasure Valley, its crews have been going out and clearing storm drains, the larger facilities at the edges of subdivisions, some of those larger collection points. Reporting live in Boise, Brian Morin, KBOI 2 News.
Now, you can help prevent flooding in your neighborhood. ACHD has an interactive map on their website showing storm drain locations all over the county. Check it out. You can zoom into your neighborhood just like on Google Earth. The red dots are all of the storm drain catch basins. We have a link to this website on our website right now, KBOI2.com.
Now, you may not feel like you're at risk of flooding, but the Idaho Office of Emergency Management says everywhere is a flood zone. They recommend that you buy flood insurance because homeowners insurance doesn't cover flooding. Flood insurance is widely available. Just keep in mind, there's often a 30-day waiting period for coverage to take effect.